I come to you today from a very big house here in New Haven, just outside New York. This is where I'm going to be for the next 3 months as part of my next big project, which more will be revealed in a later video. But for this video, we're going to talk about my project over the last 1 to 2 months, which has been renovating a 3-bedroom tenement, which I bought as my first buy-to-let property back in Scotland and is now running as a business. So, in doing this property up, we aimed to try and do this as sort of cost effective as possible. I'd noticed with my previous property that using Gumtree and charity shops and different places like this can mean that you can renovate a property if you're willing to put in the work and to paint it for a very, very low cost. So with this video, we look to kind of total up all the costs, document the whole experience, and just show you for how low a cost you can really renovate a new property or your own property. So let's dive into it. So we've just got the keys to the flat, we're walking in.
What number is it?
So this was me first arriving to the flat when I initially bought it around 3 months ago, and as you may notice, I look very different back then. I've been doing a big 100-day challenge, which again, more to be revealed on that in a later video. So this is us just walking around the apartment as it was when we initially bought it, with no alterations, just the way we bought it at purchase date. So as we can see, there's a big wardrobe here which needs to be taken out. We can then see that there's a yellow room here which looks disgusting, but we then went and changed that a lot, did it up and painted it. This is then the living room, and going back through the hallway, we actually already had a tenant in one of the rooms at the end, so I only briefly give a wee glance here at what's going on there. And then now we're going to look at how I got the couches. So as you can see, this is me grabbing some couches which had been left by a tenant which was moving out of our building from the bins out the back. And I carried them up on my back up to my flat I was living in at the time. Almost lost a phone there. And as you can see, whilst I was then working my corporate job, I had these couches behind me. So we've made it to the flat. The van is filled with the couches and the table. There we are in there. So we're just going to unload all of this up to the flat up there. So that's the new flat. It's the top 3 windows on the right hand side. Lovely tenement. So we're going to load that up, get painting, and then go and collect the other items from Gumtree sellers. So the table I referenced we got from outside a family member's penthouse, which was then also free. So this meant that the total running cost was currently £0 for these 2 couches and the table.
Much to talk about. It's a shame we're running out of hours to couches to lift. If anyone at home's got any couches they need moving, just give us a shout.
I think he's just trying to hasten his inheritance. Watch Kelly, watch that. Kelly needs poor dad, watch that unit down.
This is the living room as it came. Got interesting colours. This got some also interesting features in the wall. So we're going to bring in 2 couches, a table, a TV. Right, so the couches are in, the table's in, and we've added a few nice feature carpets. Room's looking good so far. So this is, no, sideways. So this is room number 3. We've got a bit more problems with this room. Since the previous owner didn't have anyone staying in this bedroom, they put in a big walk-in wardrobe. So we're going to be demolishing this with a sledgehammer and then getting to work on the floors. So as you can see, I lost audio at this point. I'm sure I had something very insightful and interesting to say. However, I think what I was roughly saying was that the wardrobe has now been taken out. My dad mainly did that. We're then getting to work on the flooring. We found, as we took the wardrobe out, some very old newspapers from around 1940, which is quite interesting. And then, like I say, we're then getting on to the flooring there.
Ready buying this furniture?
So I'll just take over from my mother's narration there, as brilliant as it was.
Any bumpy bit?
So these are 2 couches we got for £50 each, £100 total, as well as £37 for a microwave, a table, a kettle and some appliances. We've just arrived back at the flat. We now have 2 cupboards. We need to run these in quickly so that we can get to the skip in time to throw away the waste from the old built-in cupboard. Take all of this wood to the skip. So we have just now made it to the skip. 3 minutes late. The skip closed at 4:45. We got here at 4:48, but a little bit of negotiation and we got ourselves in. Now unloading the van into there. We're now heading to the next seller to buy a bed from someone from Gumtree.
Well, we did it.
So
Some of us didn't.
it's the end of day 1 renovating. Peace out.
Well, it's been a hard day.
Hello, good morning. So it is day 2 of the renovation. Got a coffee here, we're just unpacking the car. About to go measure up one of the room's dimensions to get some flooring, fit that today, paint the walls, and buy some lighting and a TV. That's today's game plan. Let's go. Right, so we're at B&Q, looking at flooring. Got a quick question for all the viewers at home. Where is the pricing on this? So you've got pricing here for a sample, you've got then the products, and no price. Oh, Alan seems to have found it. Ah, it's written up on the samples. Of course. Right, we have chosen our wood. We're going for
A good home.
a good home. So we're now in B&M looking for lighting. We're thinking possibly a Himalayan salt lamp for the living room lighting feature. We've got some sort of alcoves with metal and trying to make something interesting. Just having a quick pit stop. Then we're going to go to the charity shops here at the Forge and find some more items. Let's do this. So we have just acquired a TV. The logs, the wood in there, not the logs, the flooring. Good to go. Right, so we've acquired all of our items. We acquired a little more than we had room for, so this is the driving conditions on the way home. Let's hope we don't have any emergency stops. Right, so the shopping is complete. It is a lovely day today. We're just going to get everything upstairs and then we'll do a unloading of what we got. We're just going to move in everything that we bought today, the TV, lights, and get this looking nice. So this is our first purchase for the living room. We've got 2 Himalayan salt lamps, which we thought would be a highly innovative solution to these funky solution to these alcoves with sort of tinfoil on them, which don't make a lot of sense. So in solution to that, we've got 2 salt lamps going here.
Do they have bulbs in them?
Let's hope so. Let's turn this one on and see how it looks.
Do.
There we go.
Oh, it says, look what it's doing to the...
So this is the back garden of the flat. Very nice. Got a barbecue over here, a bench up the back. Perfect. Right, back briefly to post-cut Aiden. So this was me unpacking just all the flooring that we got. So on this day, we got the flooring, we got the TV, we got some bedside tables, we got the salt lamps, and we got a TV bracket. So I'll total up the cost for all of that up in the top right, keep a running total going, and then now back into the house to go and fit all of that. Which do you think is better in terms of lighting?
The lighter one.
Yeah. We've done all of this for incredibly cheap, so we'll put a price counter up at the top. We got these couches outside of my current flat for free, for nothing. Same with this couch. We then got this table from also outside someone's flat for free, and we'll just bring it around here and show you what we've got here. So it was quite an interesting design, the living room initially. We've got 2 sort of alcoves with a kind of tinfoil sort of insulation type look. However, we've come up with an artistic solution to that using 2 salt lamps, which work really well with the lighting. We then got this TV from a charity shop for £110, which is really good quality for what we paid. And then the bracket behind it for £25. So that's a total of £15 for a lamp, £15 for a lamp, bracket £25, and then a TV for £110, which is £165. And then if we look out here, we've got lovely big wide tenement windows looking out to the garden with a barbecue, a nice little bench. So we've just turned on this charity shop TV and it comes with someone else's Netflix already locked in. So there we are. So this was us now getting on to renovating the room number 2 in the building. So this was previously the yellow room, which looked awful, kind of like urine, you might say. So we've gone and just quickly painted it white, just a rough coat. The current tenant in it now is actually repainted it into a sort of matte grey, but for the purposes of this video, as I was getting it sort of ready to be rented, we just gave it a very quick coat of white paint. So this is now day 3 as you follow along chronologically. So today we went back to B&Q to grab home some wallpaper this time and some more paint, I believe, to get everything finished up in room 3. So it is day number 5 of renovating flat number 2. Possibly day number 3, losing track of time, but you'll know in the video. So we're back here, we've got wallpaper, we've got flooring, and we have more paint to put up. So we're going to go do that today and let's do it. We've just had our breakfast here. It's a lovely rainy Scottish day. We're now just finishing off room number 2 and getting the flooring and wallpaper in. I'll show you what we're at so far. So we've got room number 2 is looking good. Everything's all painted. I just need to do a second coat of paint today and then get everything moved out. I'll take you through to room number 3, where we have Alan currently working on the wallpaper and listening to Talk Sport and the flooring. So we've got a big job in here. We need to get the wallpaper up first. So we've got wallpaper paste here, and then we need to get all the flooring down. So we're going to do a feature wallpaper here, which is going to be some paint splatter type effects, and the rest of the wall is going to be grey. We've also got a grey wood effect flooring, which has the potential to look a bit out of the ordinary, but let's see how it looks. This is what we've got for the feature wall. It's a sort of blue, gold and green paint effect situation. So I think it'll look good, but we have some skeptics. So let's get this put up today and see how it looks. So, quick check-in. Room number 2 is looking good. I've just finished the second coat of paint. All looking very nice. We just need to clean up the bed and move things around. A little bit bumpy in the wallpaper, but that should be okay. And then we're now just going to have a look at how Alan is getting on. This is the loud Talk Sport room. We've got half the wall up of this wall. That wallpaper's looking very nice, nice and simple. Where then I'm going to come in and paint the...
Well, do you have to do everything?
I apparently have to do everything, Aidan. And I'm going to paint the skirting boards and the roof here, which is a little bit dirty so far. And then we'll try and finish the wallpaper, get this feature wall up here, and then put down the flooring. So let's keep moving. So we are progressing well with room number 3. Alan has got up the wallpaper.
What's this number? I want promotion.
I've painted the roof slightly up there. So we're going for an interesting colour scheme of grey and a feature wall here, but it's coming together very nicely so far. We've got this feature wall lined up nicely with the paint splatter effect, and then behind me we have this wall, which we're just doing grey, which has worked very well. So we're going to have this grey feature wall, a nice grey wood effect floor, and we'll check in a minute once we get closer to being finished. Good progress is being made. I/we/Alan have got the feature wall up, so it goes very nicely with the nice grey on the side and then the grey over here. We're planning on making the whole of the rest of the room this grey colour. We're going to do the same above and below the window, if it works, and then the feature wall over here, and then we're going to get the flooring down tomorrow, which will also be grey, but it's a kind of wood effect grey, so should work very nicely. We will keep you updated. It is now the end of day 3 or 4, I think we're on. We're not sure, but you'll see in the video. We've finished today's work on room number 3. We've got this wall up, so we just need to finish the corners and do below the window. I'll bring you a quick look around here. So we've got this wall and the feature wall, and then we've got Alan, and then we've got this wall all up as well. So we just need to get the intricacies around the window, and that will be us. So coming back tomorrow to finish that, and then we'll give a full tour of the whole house. This is now day number 4. Started the day off with some reflecting and gratitude out in the garden before then getting to work. We've got some big progress in room number 3. Primarily thanks to Alan, as I've got some other obligations today. So all of the wallpaper's done. We'll bring you in for a tour. So we've got this grey going round the window as well. The same round here, where we have the nice grey going around the door, around the wall. We need to paint this. We need to give this roof another coat of paint, and then we've got the feature wall. We're now getting to work on the flooring. Again, primarily Alan, as I've got other obligations. And then we're just going to do the flooring all along here, and should get that done today.
Just make sure
I'll do it here. So the wait is finally over. We have completed the renovations. It's day 4 or 5. We will have a money counter up here showing the final cost of what everything costed, and we've done it on as low a budget as we can while still getting a good bit of renovation done, and using Gumtree and different charity shops and different ways of getting it as cheap as we can. So let's go in, take a look, and I'll give you a tour of what we have done. Starting with the living room, which is a little bit of a mess at the moment, but we've got our lovely feature piece salt lamps. We've got the nice flat screen TV. We've got 2 leather couches, nice and in place. We then have room number 2 here, which was previously the yellow room. It is now white. Got a nice bed here. There's chest of drawers and nice big open plan window looking out to the view. We'll now take you through to room number 3, what we're calling the showpiece room. This is the one which has had the most work and probably the most expensive as well, as you'll see on the money counter. So we've got a lovely feature wall. We now have a bed in, bedside table. Initially the colour scheme looked a bit unusual, but I think it works quite well. We've got the grey wall, matching the cabinet, nice showpiece, lovely big opening windows, view across of sunny Denniston. Just to jump in for a final time here as post-cut Aidan, I just wanted to add that there is a 3rd bedroom in this flat, which, as I mentioned, already had a tenant in. But all we put in there was an IKEA bed, which was added to the money counter, and the 3rd tenant then brought their own bed, replacing the one you can see here. This whole idea of this was to show what you can do using Gumtree and charity shops and different things to renovate a whole flat for fairly cheap. So, hope you took something from this, and we will see you in the next one.